In the annals of American folklore, few entities occupy the liminal space between mass hysteria and tangible horror, quite like the entity known as the Mothman. It's a narrative woven not merely from the fabric of rural superstition, but from a visceral collective trauma. For 13 months in the mid-1960s, the quiet industrial town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, became the epicenter of high strangeness phenomenon that defied taxonomical categorization. To understand the Mothman, we must first strip away the kitsch of modern tourism and return to the inciting incidents, encounters defined not by wonder but by a primal paralytic terror. The timeline of the impossible began in earnest on the night of November 15, 1966. Two young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Millett, were traversing the desolate perimeter of the McClintic Wildlife Management Area, known locally as the TNT area. This site, a labyrinth of abandoned bunkers from World War II, already possessed a desolate post-industrial aura. As their headlights swept across an old generator plant, they illuminated a figure that violated the laws of biology. It was described as a bipedal humanoid, gray in color, standing approximately 7 feet tall. But it was the eyes that seared the image into their psyches. Set deep within the chest, or perhaps a necklace torso, were two luminous crimson orbs, glowing with an eternal incandescence that witnesses compared to bicycle reflectors. As the creature unfurled wings with a span exceeding 10 feet, the couples fled. But this was no fleeting glimpse. As Roger Scarberry accelerated the vehicle to speeds surpassing 100 miles per hour, the entity pursued them. It did not flap its wings. It ascended vertically like a helicopter and glided effortlessly above their vehicle, a silent aerodynamic predator matching their desperate velocity. The report ignited a firestorm. In the subsequent weeks, the Mothman, a moniker coined by an imaginative copy editor inspired by the Batman villain Killer Moth, ceased to be an isolated anomaly. It became a ubiquitous presence. Reports flooded in. Newell Patridge, a local contractor, claimed a similar entity with glowing red eyes appeared in his field, accompanied by a chaotic buzzing from his television set, a phenomenon often associated with electromagnetic interference in UFO encounters. His German Shepherd, Bandit, lunged into the darkness to confront the intruder and was never seen again. The descriptions were remarkably consistent. A headless profile, vertical takeoff capabilities, and an overwhelming sense of malevolence. The town was gripped by a psychological siege. It was a classic flap, a term used by Fortean researcher John Keel to describe a concentrated outbreak of paranormal activity. However, the narrative of the Mothman is inextricably bound to tragedy. The sightings, the strange lights in the sky, the visits from Men in Black. It all crescendoed to a singular, devastating climax. On December 15, 1967, at the height of rush hour, the Silver Bridge, an I-bar chain suspension bridge connecting Point Pleasant to Gallipolis, Ohio, suffered a catastrophic structural failure. In seconds, the steel groaned and snapped, plunging 31 vehicles into the freezing waters of the Ohio River. 46 people perished. In the aftermath of the disaster, the sightings of the Mothman abruptly ceased. This correlation birthed the most enduring theory that the entity was not a predator, but a harbinger, a grim sentinel, warning of impending doom. Was it a curse, perhaps linked to the legendary Shawnee Chief Cornstalk? Or was it an indifferent interdimensional traveler drawn to the energy of a future catastrophe? Skepticism demands a terrestrial explanation. The most prominent zoological hypothesis posits the sandhill crane, standing nearly as tall as a man, with a massive wingspan and patches of crimson skin around his eyes. A crane lost during migration could, under the influence of fear and darkness, be misidentified as a monster. Others suggest the bird owl, known for its eye shine, a phenomenon where the tapetum lucidum reflects light, creating a glowing red effect. Combined with pareidolia, the psychological tendency to perceive meaningful images in random stimuli, an owl perched on a branch could appear as the eyes of a giant. Yet these explanations fail to account for the mechanical details. The vertical ascent without flapping, the pursuit at highway speeds, and the sheer volume of corroborating witnesses who were intimately familiar with local wildlife. Today, the Mothman has been commodified, immortalized in statues, festivals, and films. But beneath the festival lights lies a darker truth. The legend endures not because we believe in monsters, but because we fear the unexplained. Whether a misidentified avian, a mass psychological contagion, or a genuine emissary from the unknown, the Mothman remains a modern American mythos. A reminder that even in our illuminated world, there are things in the dark that are watching us back. Well, the legend of the Mothman is certainly intriguing and has captured the imagination of people for decades. The descriptions of a large human-like figure with wings and glowing red eyes definitely make for an interesting and somewhat eerie tale. Whether or not the Mothman actually exists is a matter of personal belief. Some people strongly believe in the legend and have reported encountering the creature, while others dismiss it as a hoax or a product of people's imagination. Ultimately, I think the legendary nature of the Mothman adds to its mystique and fascination. So, thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.